Hey Ragelings, welcome to yet another video series of mine. This is just going to be a series of commentary videos while I play Turok Rage Wars. If you have actually clicked the play button after seeing the fact that this is Turok Rage Wars, then congratulations, I like you. If not, fuck you. But anyway, something to think about, video game difficulty. Now this is something that I've kind of wanted to talk about on my own for a while. I've discussed this a few times over on the Prestige Gamers forums and even in our podcast on occasion. Now, what I define difficult is something that's challenging but overcomable, an obstacle. In most cases, video games, they don't really provide an obstacle in so much as a gigantic mountain to get through with I can't even think of a good metaphor for it. It's just, most of them just throw arbitrary difficulty modifiers onto their game, and it ruins the experience. My favorite example has always been veteran mode on the Call of Duty games. Now, ever since Modern Warfare 2, they kind of fixed it so that it's not as faggoty, but play any of the other ones, most especially World at War, and you'll notice that the jump between recruit and veteran is obnoxious. For example, let's look at the main thing that made it difficult was two things. One, enemies had ridiculous aim, to the point where they were aimbots, basically. You were turning the corner, they were already aimed at you, and they fire, you die. The other thing that made it difficult to play was the fact that wherever you were, if you stayed there for too long, grenades would just come flying out of fucking nowhere and kill you. It was a very arbitrary method of making the game quote-unquote difficult, but it wasn't a challenging type of difficult. It was just bullshit. There was really no challenge to it. Now, if I were to talk about a game that properly did difficulty right, I would say Dead Space 1. When I jumped from easy mode to impossible mode, there was this connection between the two of them. I felt like I was playing a more advanced version of the game. In fact, I almost felt like there shouldn't have been a difficulty mode. I felt impossible should have been the only mode available on the game. It was perfect. It fit every single description that the game met. It wanted you to dismember the enemies in order to take them out. And in easy mode, you could just shoot the enemy a few times, they'd fucking die, whatever. Game over, you're good. But in impossible mode, if you wanted to win, if you wanted to conserve ammo, if you truly wanted to beat the game, you had to shoot their arms off, you had to shoot their legs off, you had to think tactically. And to me, that's the true definition of difficulty. That is the true definition of a challenge, is make the player think tactically. Now, if more games were to take that approach, I think they would improve drastically. And again, as I mentioned at the beginning of the video, Call of Duty changed this in Modern Warfare 2. They took out, the only thing they really honestly took out, in my opinion, was the grenade spam, but enemies are still way too pinpoint accurate, and I don't feel that's necessarily a challenge in any game. Now, in this one, for example, this is an old school game. This is definitely not the best Turok by any fucking standards, but all these enemies that I'm fighting right now are on the hardest fucking difficulty. And I'm dying a lot simply just because, you know, I'm trying to get back into the controls, trying to get used to everything, and I think my control is a little fucked up. But, I mean, these guys are pretty fucking difficult to take out. They don't do more damage to me based on, you know, their difficulty level. They're definitely more aggressive, I'll give you that. But it's mostly what I think should be the big change between the lowest difficulty and the highest difficulty should simply just be an AI change. Make them smarter, but not so smart that it's an obvious computer character. Make it so that they're more organic, you know? And that's what I always felt would really separate the bad games from the good games. Make your AI more organic the higher your difficulty, if you should have any. If you don't have any difficulty, the AI should be some of the best, no exceptions. And a lot of games lately, I just feel the AI is incredibly fucking stupid. Now, I love Far Cry 3. I love that game. I think it's one of the best shooters to have ever been released. But the AI in that game is so aggravatingly stupid and annoying, I just can't let it go. They're, like, whenever I'm sniping an enemy or trying to take down a compound, if I shoot an enemy and other guys see the guy go down, they immediately know the exact position from which that bullet was fired. To me, that takes some major CSI action to figure that the fuck out, especially in 2 seconds. And that's really what it is they come running directly to the spot that you last fired at. Now granted, you could use that to your advantage, fire from one spot, move to another, boom, you've been taking him out. But that's really just an annoying AI programming that I don't understand why we still have this issue, especially given all of the advancements in programming knowledge and tech knowledge. We're now in 2013, and I'm hoping to God that soon we'll be able to solve this problem and have some more intelligent games. You know, games like to tout themselves as mature and all this, but most of them just boil down to boobs, blood, explosions, which are fine into and of themselves, but they don't necessarily make a game mature. And if anything, a lot of games today are really immature. And that's a whole separate topic I'm going to get into at another point. But basically what it boils down to is arbitrary methods of making a game more difficult, aimbot level accuracy, almost impervious levels of health, godlike resistance to things that would normally not be easily resisted, goddamn grenade spam, reducing the player's health while upping the amount of damage that the enemy does, or even giving the enemy AI an insane level of intelligence, allowing them to make quick level decisions with very minimal information. I could go on, but I'm out of time for today. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like button, comment, let me know what you think, don't forget to subscribe, share with your friends. Have a good one, Ragelings.